Ladies and gentlemen, what is cracking? It is your boy, James Eeks, and today, guys, I'm bringing you guys my top 10 most wanted Pokemon in the DLC coming out this summer. You know, we got the first one coming out, which is going to be the Isle of Armor. And yeah, guys, every Pokemon on this list is going to be things for the health and fun of VGC, so competitive doubles Pokemon, you know, so I'm not just gonna say I want to bring back Pokemon just because I think they're cool or whatever. And yeah, guys, I'm pretty excited to do, like, you know, a little long form kind of listening content. You know, you guys can throw me on in the car or podcast, throw me in the headphones, and we can just discuss and have some fun about, you know, what I'd really like to see in the new games. So yeah, guys, before we hop in, if you guys ever do want to catch me live, hang out with me, I'd love it if you guys did check me out over on Twitch. You know, I stream every single day except for Saturday and Wednesday, so I would love to see you there. But guys, let's get into the first Pokemon that I am hoping comes in the DLC. So guys, the first Pokemon that I'm hoping to see is Suicune. And guys, to be honest, I think Suicune is pretty similar to Arcanine in the way that they are very bulky support Pokemon that are good at spamming Snarl. And they can also pump out really solid damage. You know, you can run a really offensive Arcanine, and then Suicune, you could even run some, you know, Calm Mind type thing. But, you know, at their core, they are a more bulky, defensive kind of Pokemon. And I really like these kind of Pokemon because I think they promote the kind of gameplay in VGC that I personally like, which is defensive, slow, methodical, you know, lots of switching, positioning, as close to it is making it as close to chess as possible is kind of how I like it. And yeah, so I don't think, you know, Suicune would be insanely hype, but I think its presence would be very, very healthy in the meta. You know, being a super bulky water type that could spam Scald would be great against, you know, Tyranitar and Excadrill. Like, with these amazing base stats, Suicune has 100 HP, 115 defense. Suicune would be honestly really, really good if it got its hidden ability as well, Inner Focus. That'd be pretty crazy. You know, he's never going to flinch to Rock Slide, any of that kind of stuff. And then, you know, Suicune has access to Tailwind, which would be really awesome. And, you know, it gets Haze as well. I think Haze is super, super good in this meta. You know, it helps nerf Dynamax. Dynamax is really, really powerful. I'm personally not the biggest fan of it, but I think Pokemon with Haze are a really good option against it. So I would actually love to see Suicune. I think Suicune would be very healthy and fun. Next up, guys, at number 9 is a Pokemon that probably wasn't on a lot of your guys' radar. It is my boy Crowley. Crowley would be really cool in this meta, in my opinion, because of its Rock Grass typing and Storm Drain. It would definitely be a Rotom Wash Slayer. Rotom Wash would have a big, tough time dealing with Crowley. It'd be another option to deal with Dracovish, you know, having another Storm Drain mon. And then I think the fact that its max move is a stab rock move that sets up Sandstorm is pretty underrated. I think the max moves that set up Weather are a bit overlooked. You know, people have them naturally on their team, but I just think it's super strong to be able to affect, you know, what moves are getting boosted, shutting down opponents' abilities like Chlorophyll and stuff like that. So I think Crowley would actually be really cool. And personally, I think Crowley is pretty badass, so I would definitely want to use Crowley if it was in the game. So this is on my list, and I think he would actually be surprisingly good and competitive. So catch me rocking Crowley if it ever gets added. So guys, at number 8 is my first and only real cop-out answer, and what I would really love to see added is a Scrappy fake-out user to be able to fake out the Ghost in the meta. Now, the only two previous Scrappy fake-out users were Kangaskhan and Lopunny, and they were only really good because of their Mega Evolutions. Lopunny had Scrappy when it Dynamaxed, when it Mega Evolved, and then Kangaskhan had Scrappy before. So, to be honest, we all know that Mega Evolutions are not going to be in the new game, so Naked Kangaskhan, you know, normal Kangaskhan, normal Lopunny are definitely not amazingly strong Pokemon, so I just really want to see a strong, good Scrappy Ghost, whether that is a new Galarian form, or I guess that's our only option. I don't expect them to add completely new Pokemon, but I would really love to see that, guys. Just imagine, you know, Dusclops being able to get faked out, Mimikyu being able to get faked out and break the disguise at the same time, and then Dragapult being able to fake it out. Dragapult usually, you know, very commonly Dynamaxes turn 1, but with the pressure of Scrappy fake out, it would, you know, feel like it was forced to Dynamax or even Protect. So I would love to see Scrappy fake it. I think the Ghosts are kind of running amok in VGC 2020. They're really strong, and I would love anything that might be able to slow them down a little bit. Alrighty, ladies and gents, coming in at number 7 is my first heavy hitter. You know, the previous 3 have been supporting Pokemon, but I would love to see Salamence get added. Salamence is a total badass, first of all. I mean, come on, he's the shit. And then I think he would be an insanely strong Pokemon in the meta because of Stab Max Airstream coming off that huge 135 base attack. To be honest, Max Airstream is extremely strong. You know, probably it's a little broken, but I would love to see more strong Max Airstreamers to be able to keep up with Togekiss, because I would say that Togekiss and maybe Charizard, you know, but Togekiss is definitely at the top of the summit undisturbed, in my opinion. You know, Charizard's fine, but Togekiss is the real queen or king of Max Airstream, and I'd love to see things that could really keep up with it. And, you know, on paper, Salamence doesn't really have a positive matchup against Togekiss, right? You know, Salamence is probably going to go down to a Max Starfall crit, but with Salamence's base 100 speed and then Max Airstream and how the dynamic speed changes work, you know, he's going to Max Airstream, and then his partner is going to be faster than Togekiss due to the dynamic speed changes, because Salamence will be faster than Togekiss when it uses Max Airstream. And then maybe you'll be able to pick up a KO like that, because that Max Airstream from Salamence is going to be doing anywhere between, you know, 30 to 45%, probably, depending on how bulky the Togekiss is. Sorry, guys, there was a car going by. I didn't want you guys to have to go through with that loud noise, so thank me later. But I think Salamence would be really awesome. Let's get more into Salamence. You know, another really cool thing about Salamence is it can be Intimidate or Moxie, 2 amazing abilities that, you know, are completely different roles. You know, you've got the more supporty, but probably still offensive with Intimidate, and then Moxie could be you could be a just total sweeper with Salamence. Salamence is similar to Gyarados, obviously, with Intimidate and Moxie, but let's be real, Salamence is probably the stronger Pokemon, just overall. Gyarados is great, you know, the typing's different. They are more different than just their abilities being very similar, but I think Salamence would be usually a stronger Gyarados, which would be really cool. And then you'd be able to have Dynamax Max Wormwind Stab, which would just do insane damage, lower the attack, make Salamence that much more bulky. And then there are move tutors being added to the DLC, so if we get Tailwind Salamence through that, you know, Intimidate and Tailwind on the same Mon, Salamence could just be like an endless amount of really cool sets. Offensive, defensive, supportive, choice specs, all this really cool stuff. So I would love to see Salamence. I think more Intimidators would be nice and healthy for the meta, and Salamence is badass. He would be very, very strong, but I would love to see him. Coming in at number 6, guys, we're going back to the support Pokemon, and probably another Pokemon that was not on your guys' radar. It is my boy Murkrow. I would love to see Murkrow get added. So if you guys don't know, Murkrow is not fully evolved. It can hold Eviolite, make it, you know, that much more bulky. It has Prankster, you know, we love Prankster mons here in VGC, and it is a dark type. Now, what does that all come together to make? It makes the ultimate opposition to Whimsicott, okay? So Murkrow, being a dark type, is going to be immune to Prankster itself, so you're not gonna have to deal with Whimsicott taunting you to stop your Tailwind. None of that Whimsicott BS 50-50 speed tie taunts to get up Tailwind, you know, that we're seeing every once in a while now. And then Murkrow has Tailwind itself, so it would have a Prankster Tailwind that is untauntable from Whimsicott. Whimsicott would no longer be the only option for Prankster Tailwind, you know, that big Prankster speed control. So I would really love to see that. And then Murkrow's got even more powerful options with its Prankster. One of the biggest ones is Prankster Haze. That would be absolutely insane here in VGC 2020. You know, imagine they lead Mimikyu Dragapult, Shadow Sneak because it's faster than Murkrow naturally. He Shadow Sneaks into Dragapult, activates the weakness policy, and then you go with your +1 priority speed Haze instantly after and get rid of the weakness policy boost. You're against some Trick Room team. They set up their Rhyperior weakness policy. Murkrow comes in, priority Haze removes the weakness policy boost. I would love to see this because I personally hate how weakness policy and Dynamax works. It's not fun, in my opinion. So I think Murkrow would be amazing. Murkrow also has a ton of awesome supportive moves it can use with Prankster, such as, you know, Thunder Wave, Quash, Taunt, Feather Dance, and I mean, it gets, you know, Sunny Day and Rain Dance if that's really what you wanted to roll with. Prankster Perish Song could really close out some games in late game. Oh, yeah, guys, Murkrow, I don't know if he would be broken or super strong, but I would love to see him. I think he could definitely make waves, so let's go Murkrow. Guys, coming in at number 5 for your boy, another support Pokemon, I gotta say, but I would love to see Topoffini. And guys, I know saying Topoffini, I want Topoffini in the game, implies that, you know, the rest of the Tapus would come along with it, but the one that I specifically would love to see, personally, is Topoffini. Now, once again, support Pokemon. Topoffini sets up Misty Surge, you know, sets up Misty Terrain with the ability Misty Surge. So, Misty Terrain's up, that's going to make dealing with Sleep Powder Mons, Priority Thunder Wave stuff, that much easier. But one downside I can see with Misty Terrain is it's going to be nerfing Yawn. And, guys, let's just think about it for a second. Getting your Dynamax Yawned is annoying, right? You know, you got to switch it out, you got to let it go to sleep, maybe you have to use your max electric move to, you know, combat it, stuff like that. But I don't think Yawn is the problem. Personally, I think it's Dynamax being too strong. I think Yawn is just a great option against Dynamax for that purpose. So I think the real offender here is Dynamax, not Yawn. And so while I could see Topoffini, you know, enabling Dynamax even more, making Yawn weaker, I'd still like to see Topoffini, because Topoffini would just be an amazing Pokemon. I think, once again, I mentioned it earlier with Suicune, but I think Topoffini is a Pokemon that promotes, excuse me, that was the word I was looking for, promotes good gameplay. You know, it promotes defensive play, defensive positioning, switching, methodical play. Like, I think Topoffini is the queen of this kind of stuff. You know, Water Fairy is amazing typing, 95 special attack is respectable, you know, so she can do damage while supporting the team. She's got a ton of cool support moves. You know, we've got Haze, once again, come on, Haze these Dynamaxes, I love that shit. It's got Screens, Taunt, Heal Pulse, it's got Nature's Madness, which, while isn't exactly a support move, you know, it's like Super Fang does 50%, you know, just solid damage, even though you're really bulky. And then I think Topoffini can run just a multitude of sets. It could be choice specs, you know, offensive, bulky. It could be Calm Mind, you know, set up, start sweeping. It could be just completely defensive, you know, with like a Berry and support moves, Heal Pulse, Light Screen. It's got Muddy Water. I mean, Muddy Water is kind of annoying, let's be real. But it's still a good option as a support Pokemon. But yeah, guys, I would love Feeny. It would promote the gameplay that I personally love to see. And yeah, let's go Feeny. At number 4, this beautiful bird would be welcomed with open arms from your boy. It is Zapdos. You know, I think electric flying typing is very stellar typing for sure. And Zapdos' stats, you can take a look at them right there. Zapdos is a bulky bird and a very strong bird, 125 special attack, you know. Once again, I think Zapdos promotes that gameplay that I really like, defensive positioning, tailwind, getting, you know, into great positions. And the cool thing about Zapdos is it can be a defensive set. You know, it does get Screens, Tailwind, Roar. Roar is not quite as strong as it used to be, but always a great option. And then it can be an offensive set too, you know. Big strong Thunderbolts coming out of it. It gets Heat Wave. Heat Wave is through move tutors though, so let's move into that. I was going to say that Zapdos is somewhat reliant on the move tutor moves being what we've seen in the past to really be strong. You know, that would give Zapdos Tailwind and Heat Wave, so you know you've got Tailwind, Heat Wave, Thunderbolt. And then it usually had Hidden Power. So honestly, I think Zapdos would be kind of nerfed from its previous glory, especially it doesn't have a special flying move to, you know, get like max airstream boosts. Like, I could see Zapdos being insanely strong if they decided to give it Air Slash, you know, some special flying move. But I still would really love to see Zapdos. The typing is great. The creativity in the sets you can run, bulky, support, sweeper, is really great. And I love ground resist, you know. I'd love to see more strong flying types to keep up with Togekiss. And yeah, I think Zapdos is just really cool, really strong. So I'm starting to repeat myself, but I would love to see Zapdos. Coming in, guys, at number 3 is VGC's historically known second best ground type to Landorus Therian, obviously ignoring Primal Groudon, is Garchomp. Garchomp to me has always been a honest yet insanely strong Pokemon. So when I use the word honest, guys, I kind of mean those Pokemon that I was talking about, like Suicune, like Zapdos, where Topoffini, where they're not going to really cheese you out. They promote that gameplay that I really like. So if we ignore the, the base 102 speed rock slide for a second, Garchomp is very honest. I love Garchomp. I think Garchomp would be really healthy. It would definitely help deter away Tyranitar, Excadrill, and Incineroar. It's good against all those bonds. And so Garchomp and Excadrill do have some similarities, right? They are strong, fast, ground types meant to sweep, and they thrive under sand. But now, what are the differences between Garchomp and Excadrill? Well, Garchomp does not have Sand Rush, so, it's never going to be insanely fast. But it has 102 base speed, which is a huge upgrade to Excadrill's 88. Just outspeeding lots and lots of stuff like Arcanine, Charizard. Garchomp would give those guys a lot of trouble. And then Garchomp has a big attack of 130, and it gets Swords Dance. So not only would it be fast than Excadrill, it can get up to that level of strength. And then Garchomp is definitely bulkier than Excadrill as well. But it is 4 times weak to Ice, and it is weak to Fairy, unlike Excadrill, who resist it. So Garchomp would have a tough time with Togekiss, but I mean, Garchomp and Togekiss put together, you got that Follow Me, Swords Dance, big Earthquakes coming out. I think Garchomp would be great. Now, Rotoms would probably give Garchomp a little bit more trouble, you might think, due to, Garchomp not having Mold Breaker, but Garchomp is going to be faster than them for sure. You should EV to be faster than Rotoms at least. And then you're going to be able to hit them with the big, strong Max Whirlwind. That's going to hit them neutrally, and it's going to hit them really hard. Excadrill, had to choose between Mold Breaker and not going to be fast with Sand Rush, or Sand Rush, and then really not being able to hurt the Rotoms too bad. So you guys are starting to see where Garchomp kind of fills in the cracks of Excadrill, and I would love to see both of them because I think they would both be really strong, but I would personally love to see Garchomp. I think it'd be really, really strong with Max Quake Stab and Max Whirlwind, boosting, physical defense with Max Whirlwind. Special defense with Max Quake. He would be insanely strong, but I would love to see him. I think he'd be a lot of fun and definitely shake up the meta. All right, guys, we're getting to the top of the list here. The ones that I would love to see the most. Coming in at number 2 is Crobat. Maybe some of you guys weren't really thinking about Crobat, but I definitely want to see Crobat. Now, Crobat, base 130 speed, crazy fast, inner focus. It cannot be faked out. It can't be flinched by fake out. And it gets Tailwind. So, right there, we've got a fast Tailwind setter, which can't be faked out. I love that already. And then it gets a multitude of great support moves. Once again, Haze. Okay, we got Haze. Taunt, Tailwind, Quick Guard, Confuse Ray, Hypnosis, even Sunny Day and Rain Dance. You could use Crobat to facilitate your more weather-based teams. And then even on top of that, it gets Super Fang as well. Okay, before we get into some more, that's always a nice damage option. But even on top of that, guys, I could see Crobat being an offensive monster. Now, you're looking at his stats, 130 base speed, 70 base special attack, and 90 base attack. Not anything crazy, but let's think about Crobat's max moves. It's got max Airstream to boost up the team's speed, always crazy. And then it's got max Ooze, so you're boosting up speed and special attack of both your partners. I think Crobat could actually go crazy on hyper offense teams and really facilitate the team. Like, you've got Crobat goes in, sets up Tailwind, Dynamaxes, and then starts speeding up, like Dracovish or something like that. Max Ooze, it starts boosting up the special attack of its partners. Like, I don't know, maybe it's wishful thinking for the offensive set. It sounds like it could be really cool on paper, but even if the offensive set ends up being doo-doo, I think that Crobat's supportive abilities would be very good. Inner Focus, Tailwind, Haze. Let's go. Here we are, guys, at number 1. And if you guys have been watching my stream, this is not going to come to a surprise to you guys. I've talked about how much I'd like this Pokemon a lot, and it is Polytoad. Guys, Polytoad is our missing weather brethren. Polytoad has Drizzle, sets up the rain. And so let's start off looking at the differences between Polytoad and Pelipper. Now, Polytoad is faster, which is surprising, but it is way bulkier. Okay, Pelipper's got that high base defense, but low HP, really low special defense. And water flying makes it 4 times weak to electric, and then weak to rock. Gets rid of the grass weakness, but that's probably the least important one. And so now that we've got that out of the way, Pelipper's got Tailwind. You know, that's offensively strong. But Polytoad is definitely the defensive option. Polytoad is way bulkier and can safely switch in to set up the ring. Pelipper really didn't want to switch in. You know, he was probably going to die, get brought down to his Sash. And right there, you feel like you have to use Sash a lot on Pelipper. But with Polytoad, you don't. You can run a lot of, you know, cool items. You can be offensive Polytoad. You can be defensive Polytoad, you know, Citrus Berry, Pinch Berry, Wakame Berry, all that kind of stuff. And then Polytoad gets a lot of great support moves. You guys hear me say that a lot. Haze, Helping Hand, Icy Wind, Hypnosis, that kind of stuff. Perish Song, too. And then it's just the really big seller, guys, for Polytoad is that bulky Drizzlemon. It would really be able to patch up harsh, you know, matchups such as Charizard, you know, switching in Polytoad on that. Polytoad can take those hits way better than Pelipper ever could. Polytoad coming in on Tyranitar and Excadrill, you know, getting rid of that sand, being bulky, coming in on the switch. Like, Polytoad would just really be able to patch up a lot of matchups, a lot of problem mons in the format, and, you know, it would help the Swift Swim mons shine a little better, you know, Seismitoad, Ludicolo, Barraskewda. I'd love to see Kingdra get added as well. I think Polytoad and Kingdra would be great, but that's for another time. But yeah, Polytoad, it's very linear. Why I would love to see him, but I really think he definitely should be in the game. Polytoad can run, like I said, those offensive sets as well. He could be Choice Scarf. We saw Choice Scarf Polytoad win the 2014 Pokemon US Nationals. It could run, you know, Life Orb, Choice Specs. Like, Polytoad is an amazingly versatile mon that I think being a bulky Drizzlemon would really shake up the meta. So I would love to see Polytoad. Well, guys, that's going to do it from your boy. I hope you guys are as hyped for the DLC as I am. You know, hopefully we get to see some of these Pokemon get added, if not all of them, you know, to spice up the meta. But yeah, guys, let me know what Pokemon y'all would like to have added to the game in the DLC in the comments. I read every comment. You know, I got a small channel here. I like to read every comment, so I would love your guys' support there. I would love it if you guys did like the video, all that jazz, you know, the basic YouTube shill. It would help me out a lot. And guys, once again, if you guys do want to check me out on Twitch, links are in the description. I'd love to have you guys. I stream 5 days a week. But guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, baby. Peace.